Hey, vinyl community, it's David Michael. It's really late on a Friday night, so I have to kind of keep my voice down a bit as the wife and son are sleeping upstairs. It's that you'll notice the lighting is not that great. I referenced in my last video that some of you who've seen my videos know that I'm moving, I'm packing up house, and a lot of the boxes are stacked really high and blocking out a lot of the lighting. And then my basement has some expensive light bulbs I have to buy, and they're blowing, and I'm not going to bother replacing them because I'm moving. So, but we'll persevere with bad lighting and all, and I don't think I'm known for my high production values. So we'll soldier on. So anyways, cheers everyone. It's really late Friday night because I've been packing for the last few hours. When I'm not working, I'm trying to continue packing up my vinyl. And I did a rough count. I'm about 46 boxes now packed of vinyl. And I have to try to guesstimate for more boxes. I got to go buy tomorrow, but I'm guessing I have about another 40 to 50 boxes yet to pack of vinyl. And then CDs and box sets and so it's been kind of a grueling week with work, and then yeah, trying to pack up the house is has been a bit of a nightmare just to just find the energy. Oof. Anyways, yeah, actually what I'm playing right now is, you might have seen in another video, is an original pressing of John Coltrane live at the Village Vanguard. I saw a video of someone I subbed to, Vinyl in the Van, who was showing off a really cool Impulse various compilation that he's been really listening to a lot, and I'm going to see if I can source that one out. But it made me bring out my Coltrane Impulse albums and listen to those while I've been packing tonight. So that's what we're listening to. I'm probably going to name drop a lot of people that I subscribe to, because just to kind of get some shout outs out there. And if you don't follow these people, I encourage you to give them a listen. So if I don't mention your channel, it's not out of spite or anything. I'm going to try to maybe name drop a few people per video, just to kind of spread the love a bit. So like I said, if I name drop people who record videos similar to mine, and you don't follow them, maybe that might encourage you to go and check out their videos. I have had some time to go out thrift store shopping. If you're on the YouTube vinyl community on Facebook, which I've posted a few times recently after not posting for a while, you all have seen these finds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reference someone right now. I've talked about Vinyl in the Van. Please check out his videos; they're really awesome. And I'm going to talk about Billy Hurst. Billy Hurst, I won a sub contest he was having. If you know Billy Hurst, he was having a 200 sub contest, and I was the first name that he drew, so I got first pick. So when I get that in the mail, I'll show it all to you. I'll make a video for that one, because it was the first sub contest I think I've entered, and I was the first name drawn. So I'm really excited because it's the only album of this band that I didn't have, and Billy had really good prizes, so it was kind of really tough picking one, but I had to gravitate towards one, and why get duplicates, you know? So I'm really excited to get that in the mail, so I'll show you all that. And then I have to reference Billy Hurst one more time in this video, because I was talking to him on Facebook the other day when we were swapping information for him to send me the record that I won. And I told him, oh, by the way, my next video, there's a couple of records I found at the thrift store that made me think of you. So when I get to those ones, I'll talk about you, Billy, and you'll remember the comment you made, and maybe you'll laugh when I show you what I got. Anyways, it's funny what you find when you're packing. I don't know if I've ever showed these in one of my videos, but I'm going through boxes, and I have this stray 8-tracks. Like I have some Ramones 8-tracks, and I found this Led Zeppelin 4 on 8-track. So I just found that like just before I pressed record on this video here. So once again, it's made me think of Billy Hurst, who posts 8-track videos. So Billy Hurst, if you don't have that, I don't use it. I just buy them up because they're cool. So I just wanted to show that, because I just unearthed that in my boxes while I was deciding what I'm taking, what I'm throwing out, what I'm donating, what I'm selling. You know how it goes. So I got some vinyl to show you because, like I said, I have gone thrift store shopping, and then I got some Amazon clearance finds again. But I'm going to talk about that first, and then I'm going to come back to it at the end of this video because I kind of want to talk about the Amazon clearance thing and how this kind of plays into my future vinyl buying. So first of all, I got this in the mail today. It was on Amazon clearance, and I've been waiting for this to go on clearance. I've wanted it, but I don't want to. I don't $40 want it. I would rather, $15.99 want it. But it's the latest Judas Priest live album called Battle Cry, and it was recorded live at the Wacken Festival in Germany, and it's limited numbered. I think I got 571 of 7,500. It's limited numbered right there, and if it's Judas Priest, I buy it regardless. The only thing, if you follow Judas Priest, modern day Judas Priest, I heard this album. I had the CD for this, but I wanted the vinyl very badly. But and maybe if you know Judas Priest, you'll know what I'm referring to. But I think they need to stop doing the song Painkiller live. Because if you've heard this album, or if you want to hear something really, I don't know if it's tragic, because Rob Halford's voice it's still there for how old he is, but even he admits his top range is not, it's still better than a lot of people his age, but it's diminished. So if you listen to the song Painkiller, which on the Painkiller album, it's all more or less kind of really high vocals. He just can't do that anymore, and it sounds tragic. So Judas Priest really, 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 really needs to stop performing Painkiller live. It's the only blemish on this album. It's a really killer live album, I have to say. The track selection is really good. There's a couple of really good songs from their last couple albums. And yeah, so that was off Amazon clearance. Double album, Judas Priest, Battle Cry. And then I got this on Amazon warehouse clearance, which is a different section. And when I reference Amazon, it's usually Amazon Canada. There's the Amazon clearance section, and then there's the Amazon warehouse finds. And warehouse finds are people who buy stuff and return them. The box, if there's a box set, it could have been damaged in the mail, or stuff people have opened and they decided they didn't want. And this was in their warehouse finds. Once again, it's the brand new Music on Vinyl reissue of this record. And I love this album, but I don't $40 love this album like the Judas Priest. This was on Amazon clearance for, I don't remember how much it was. It was cheap anyways, and I got it. And the description said mark on vinyl, so and I got the record and there's nothing on it. It's clean as a whistle. And I guess whoever bought it just didn't want it again and returned it, and Amazon put it in their warehouse clearance. But that was a mouthful. I'm out of breath already, but probably from packing as well. I'm old. Alice in Chains' Dirt. From that grunge era, it has to be up there in the top 3 albums ever made in that era. And like I said, this is the recent Music on Vinyl reissue of Alice in Chains' Dirt. And very, very, very happy to get it. And I was very happy to find that there was no actual damage to it. It had all the original packaging on it. So thank you whoever bought it and returned it, because I got it for probably 1/3 of the price. Alice in Chains' Dirt. And that was, as I looked through my pile, I think those were the only 2 purchases I got in the mail, and both were clearance items. And like I said, I'm going to come back around to the Amazon clearance thing at the end of this video. So this was one of my more exciting finds recently. This is a 1959 pressing. I don't know if it's original or if it's second press that same year, but it's the cleanest copy of Dave Brubeck's his classic album Time Out. Now I see this in thrift stores once a year probably, and it's always trashed. And this one is for 1959 copy. I verified the matrix number on Discogs, and it has the stamper number that indicates that it's one of the favored pressings of vinyl collectors. But it's on the Canadian Columbia 6-aisle label, and I don't know if you can pick it up. There's not a mark on it. It's the cleanest album of Time Out I've ever seen. And that was at Goodwill for $1. As I reach over and grab the cover, it was one of those moments where like there was nothing at Goodwill that whole night, and stuck in the middle of all these records was this incredible clean copy of Dave Brubeck's Time Out. So, and I have a similar pressing that's kind of, it's playable, but it's definitely not as clean as this. This is that was an amazing find at Goodwill. This was a find from tonight. It's my wife's birthday, and we did some stuff, and then we just did our regular Friday night kind of putzing around the city, looking for whatever stuff we look for. And I can't believe I've never had this album, and oddly enough, I never ever see good condition copies at thrift stores. You would think for how many copies it sold, you would see 1,000 copies of this album a week, but I so seldomly see this album in thrift stores, and the odd time I do, it's never in good condition. So this is, maybe I'll give a shout out for this one to Liam Dyer, who I think has an autographed copy of this album, but Glenn Campbell, Rhinestone Cowboy. I did pick up a few country albums this week. Please no comments. I like the song Rhinestone Cowboy, and a lot of the country albums I pick up are just memories of my dad. My dad listened to everything from country like this to Motorhead to all kinds of stuff, Talking Heads. He didn't discriminate, and neither do I. But this is an incredibly clean copy for, I didn't have time to take the price tag off, but $1. But I was very excited to find this today, because I just never see good condition copies of that album for some reason. So these are the two albums I was referring to that I found a couple days ago at Goodwill. And I see this guy's albums all the time, but I never even think about picking them up. And then Billy Hurst, he seems to be really into this guy. And I'm not sure if it's Andy at Andy's Vinyl Den, maybe. I could be wrong, Andy, if you're watching this video. I'm not sure if you've showed this guy's albums in the past, but Billy Hurst definitely has. I found 2 Hank Williams Jr. albums. So Billy, these were the ones I was referring to. Major Moves, and I know the song All My Rowdy Friends Are Coming Over Tonight. That was kind of a big hit. That was a kind of a crossover hit. I remember our pop music channel, video channel, used to show that video all the time. I found that for $1, really nice condition. And then I found a copy of Habits Old and New. So that was $1 each. And when I saw those, I just automatically thought of Billy Hurst. And I like and respect Billy so much. I thought, I'm gonna, you know, if he's into it, for $2 for 2 albums, I'm gonna give it a try. And they're just incredible clean copies. So, you know, for $2, shout out to Billy Hurst, because I've heard this one. I have not heard this one yet. So I'll spin this one tomorrow. Like I said, I found these and I thought of Billy Hurst. So Billy, these were what I was referring to. 2 Hank Williams Jr. albums. This was a find from today. And I don't remember if this was his first ever solo album after leaving Spooky Tooth. But apparently it's not the easiest album to find, and I found this at Goodwill today. It's Gary Wright, Extraction, original A&M pressing. Gary Wright we all know from Dreamweaver, but his early solo material is very kind of prog psychedelic. And Alan White from Yes plays drums on this, and Klaus Vormann, who has that Beatles connection, plays bass on this album, and Mick Abrams plays on this album. They're his backing band. And it's you know, calling it prog and psych is a little bit of a stretch, but you can kind of hear that in this album. But I've never seen this album before, and I like Spooky Tooth, and I'm not the biggest fan of Dreamweaver, but anyways, Gary Wright, Extraction. It's been a long day. I found that tonight for $1. Really nice condition copy, and I've been talking an awful lot, so hang on. I posted this on the YouTube vinyl community yesterday, and I gotta show you this. This is the, I found this yesterday for, it's almost embarrassing how much I found this album for. It was a cheap find, let's call it that. Original pressing, I'm gonna take the cover off this, of Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, Deja Vu. This is the original textured sleeve with the paste-on cover, very first pressing, and it's the cleanest, like the Dave Brubeck, this is the cleanest copy I've ever seen in my life. It's on the Red Atlantic Records label, which was used in Canada. I have some Led Zeppelin albums with this label, but it's absolutely, now some dust on it. There's not a single mark on this album, an original pressing of this album. And that was $4.99 yesterday. Now, I didn't mention it before because I forgot, but I just came to my mind. And the very first pressing of Crosby, Stills and Nash, Deja Vu, I got yesterday. And like I said, it's just absolutely top condition. So that was a find from yesterday. I found this today at Goodwill, and I'm not sure who's going to know this this soul singer's name, but it's Betty Wright, and an album called Explosion. This is an original Alston Records pressing. I think later on RCA picked it up and distributed it. But she's just a powerhouse funk soul singer. And I found this for $1 today, and I was familiar with her, but I did sample it online before I bought it, and it's just a smoking soul funk album. And then I go on Discogs, and it seems to fetch a few bucks. So not that it's all about value, but that kind of tells me that it's a sought after album, and it might be sought after for a reason. And I can tell why. I played this before I recorded this video in between John Coltrane albums, and it's a really great funk soul album. So I found that for $1 today. Some not so exciting finds before I get to a really exciting find. This was at Goodwill last Friday, and I haven't made a video, I don't think, since then anyways, about recent finds, but I found the 12-inch German single for Roger Hodgson, Had a Dream, off his In the Eye of the Storm album. I think his In the Eye of the Storm album is one of my most commonly found albums at thrift stores, but this actually has the long version of Had a Dream, which was the hit single off this album. So I was kind of fine. And I like that song, and my dad really liked that song. He used to have this album when I was younger, and I found that at Goodwill for $1. They're is it German or UK? It's Dutch. I just saw it's made in Holland. So it's a Dutch 12-inch for Roger Hodgson's Had a Dream with the long version of that song. And then I found that same thrift store I found Roger Hodgson. Someone had dumped a whole lot of '80s soundtracks. Some bog standard ones and some not so standard ones, but Miami Vice, Top Gun. I always have friends looking for the Miami Vice and Top Gun soundtrack, so I grabbed that for them when they inevitably call me asking for these '80s soundtracks that they love. But this one I'd never really see, and this one's staying here with me, is the Back to the Future soundtrack on vinyl. I never see this one, and it's really good. It has a Lindsey Buckingham track on here that I believe is only on here. We know the Huey Lewis songs on here, but then it's got those songs that Michael J. Fox kind of mimed in the movie Johnny Be Good. Yeah, so Back to the Future soundtrack I found that night for $1. So this is last, and then I have a quick little thing I want to talk about at the very end of this video. This was last Friday. I found this for $1.99, and I posted a photo of it on the vinyl community last Friday, on the YouTube vinyl community. It was one of our regular stops. We go to thrift stores. There was this nothing, and the thrift stores, it's spring, so they're grabbing the vinyl coming in and they're pricing it ridiculously, and then once they don't sell, they'll smarten up. But basically what they do is they pull out their vinyl that they deem worth something, and they will kind of put it aside somewhere else, and they'll charge stupid prices for it. And I think to them this vinyl just looked like some kind of, I don't know what they thought it was, but they just put it out for $1.99. And it's one of the most amazing kind of psych albums I've ever heard. I mean, psych's an easy tag to throw on it. It's kind of all over the place. It's one of the more weird albums I've ever heard. It's an original Verve Forecast 1968 pressing of Harumi. And it says original 1968 Verve Forecast pressing. if you go on Discogs, it'll tell you a little bit more about this album. But from what I understand, it's a Japanese fella who was American and possibly, I can't remember if he moved back to Japan, or I can't remember the full story of Harumi. But it's just one of the weirdest albums I've ever heard. And track 3 is one big long song called Twice Told Tales of the Pomegranate Forest. But it is, God, it's such an amazing listen. Now, the cover has a little bit of water damage, but I don't care. I'm not flipping it, and I clean the hell out of this album, and it plays just wonderfully. And the fourth side is Samurai Memories. Samurai Memories is one long 19-minute song, kind of spoken word. You can kind of tell it's about the Hiroshima bombings over this just whacked out music. And it was on Verve Forecast. It was like I was going to buy it anyways for $1.99. And then I did a quick Google of it, and I found out it's very, very sought after. And then I started reading reviews of it, and it's just universally praised as one of those kind of lost, just psych weird albums that has ever been made. One that kind of like doesn't get a lot of recognition, but people who've heard it just kind of, they've fallen in love with it. And like, you have to hear the whole album, because it starts off kind of really weird, kind of almost poppy sounding, and then it just kind of nosedives into this, like, I might as well just have 5 joints on hand, because it's just weird, and it's incredible. And I called my wife downstairs, and I said, this is just one of the most friggin' amazing albums I've heard. So Harumi, or Harumi, it's self-titled. Like I said, an original first pressing on Verve Forecast for $1.99. All in all, that was the winner of the week by far. The Dave Brubeck obviously comes close, but that Harumi was just mind-blowingly good. So anyways, I'm just going to wrap this video up really quickly by who I've given shout-outs to Vinyl in the Van. I've given shout-outs to Billy Hurst. I've given shout-outs in the past to other people, and I'll continue doing that as more videos go on. I started watching videos by a guy named Jeff Party, Jeff P-A-R-T-Y. I've really been digging his videos. If you type in Jeff Party, his videos will show up. And he did a video on XTC Skylarking, and that's one of my favorite albums of all time. So right off the bat, he loves XTC, so that kind of like endeared him to me. But he articulates about music way better than I could. I kind of stumble and mumble my way through describing albums. I'm not good at describing albums, other than it's great or it's awesome or, you know, I highly recommend it. He kind of articulates it a lot better than I ever do. So to that end, I really like the way he kind of, he's very analytical about how he describes records, and the stuff he shows is really cool. It's you have to kind of watch and see what he shows you. So yeah, I've been checking out his videos. I really recommend you check out Jeff Party's album. So Jeff, if you're watching, cheers. I'm not sure if you watch my videos on a regular basis, but I've been watching a lot of your videos lately and really enjoying them. So yeah, so just to kind of bring it all back around to the Amazon clearance stuff, Andy from Andy's Vinyl Den, formerly Audiophile 666, I'm name dropping more names. Him and Billy Hurst have been doing something, and I think maybe some other people might be doing it, where they're kind of focusing their vinyl buys on kind of holy grails and trying to knock off one a month. And it's something I have to kind of discuss with my wife. I'm always going to continue thrift store shopping, because I do sell records at record fairs twice a year. I don't sell records outside of record fairs. It's too much of a pain in the ass. So the thrift store shopping I'll always do, because it's never more than $5 a week, or a time I go out if I find stuff for at the very most $10, which is kind of negligible to me. But I was thinking about jumping on the bandwagon, so to speak, and kind of focusing my purchases. And you know, and in order to do that, I'd probably have to give up those kind of Amazon clearance buys that I've been showing you. The Amazon clearance ones, you know, although they're, you know, 10, 15 bucks sometimes, but you know, you kind of add that one a week, and then, you know, that would buy me one of my grails. And I don't want to get into any discussion about, I've read on forums ridiculous amounts of people talking about you can't have more than one grail. Yeah, you can. It's all up to you. It's your individual choice. If you want to have 10 holy grails, you can have as many as you want. All they mean to me is your most wanted albums. Not that I like to use the word holy grail, but it's out there. So I think I kind of like that idea, focusing and, you know, picking up one grail a month and compiling a list. I started compiling a list at work the other day, and I'm up to about 5. And I kind of like that idea. Just, you know, if you kind of stop the kind of frivolous kind of extracurricular buying, apart from thrift store stuff and new releases. I'm not going to stop new releases because there's tons of good stuff coming out that I've been waiting for forever. But, you know, that extra stuff, if I kind of park that money and do one grail a month or one most wanted a month, you know, in 12 months I'll probably have, you know, I mean, I'll never run out of most wanted albums, but I'll have my top 12, let's say, knocked off. And I kind of like that idea. So I'm not sure if you've heard this kind of thing going around. People have kind of really harnessing their, or focusing on just kind of their most wanted and not picking up so much kind of all the extra peripheral stuff that we all pick up that we might not need. You don't really need it, but you might want it. You don't know, but at the end of the month, you've spent 50 bucks on these extra records, and you could have bought just that one album that you'll love and listen to rather than having 10 things you may or may not want. So I'm thinking about doing that, and I think it's a good idea to kind of harness your, you know, your spending. So anyways, this has been David and Michael from the vinyl community, and we'll catch up to you again. Take care, everyone. By the way, my camera died, and I just filmed this last little trailer part just to say goodbye to you all. So, bye-bye.